I'm Andy.
I'm Chris.
And this is the proper way to do a lab.
The proper way to do a lab is very specific. First, you gotta start out with your question. Now first, do you know what the problem is in the lab that you're trying to figure out? Well, you have to put that in your problem. And you need to figure out what variables you'll be testing, and you need to put that in your question also.
Then you need to create a hypothesis. For the hypothesis, you need to create, does the statement show cause and effect? Does the prediction have enough details to understand what's being tested? And does it contain manipulated and responding variables?
Okay. Experimental design. The experimental design, you just have to find the variables such as the manipulated variable, the responding variable, and control variable, and the experimental control condition.
Doing a proper lab, you gotta follow the right procedure, and your procedure should go in this order. Are the steps clear and logical? Could the experiment be repeated with these steps? Can the control and experimental groups be identified? Can the controlled variables and responding variables be identified? 11. Does the procedure collect the data meant to be collected? And E. Do you mention repeating the experiment? F. Do you address validity measure? Yeah. Example. I will calibrate all equipment. Example 2. I will make sure all glassware is clean.
You have to have your data and observations correct when you're doing an experiment. After your procedures and after you experiment, you write down your results, and that is your data and observations.
And conclusion. Is the hypothesis supported, not supported, or contradicted? Did you support your conclusion with a low and high data points? Explain your results. What does the data mean? How does your findings relate to class and life? Are sources of error identified and explained?
Your manipulated variable, variable, versus specify, redo that one. Specify the y-axis. Okay, parathenus. Come help me read this word. Under the grid line, under the legend text sheet for this is embarrassing. A new. What are you talking about? Oh. You guys are messing me up.
Because Andy's too stupid to read, I have to take over. So for number 8, you have to specify the y-axis and your responding variable with the appropriate in parentheses. Specify the x-axis and your manipulated variable with the appropriate units in parentheses. Under the grid lines tab, select major grid lines for both the x and y axes. Under the legend tab, unselect show legend. Hit next for next options and place the chart on a new sheet for display. Hit finish to see your final graph. Determine the equation which describes the relationship between your manipulated and responding variables. Under chart, choose add a trend line and select the linear option. Under format, choose selected trend line, select options, display equation on chart. Move the equation and resize the font for prominent display on the chart.
Open your Excel file and click on the bottom tab that corresponds to your graph. Click on your graph to select it. Small black squares will appear at the coordinates. Use Control C or Edit Copy to copy the graph. Open your target Word or PowerPoint file. Paste your graph in the appropriate location with Edit, Paste, or Control V. Click on the graph and drag the corners of your graph to resize it as desired. When you're performing a lab, always wear your safety gear, like your safety goggles.
You never know what might happen.
No.
Always work on an even surface.
You gotta put 3 liters in here. Oh! If you break something, always remember to clean it up. And alarm the teacher. What the hell?
Always use the thermometer and test how hot the object is.
360.
I want to see it. Alright, do it.
Never drink anything that you don't know what it is.
Oh, shit.
Spill chemicals on yourself. Remember to always take a shower to clean it off.
Never damage or break school utensils on purpose. You'll just get in trouble and it's pointless for everyone.
That was a science video.